Again, here we go, here we go, here we go again. Are we live? I think we're live. Are we live? I think we're live. Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? It's Coach Nick Money in the house with the one and the only
DBL Knicks in the house.
and of course the queen of stocks, the one and only DBL Moms.
Hey!
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and we're ready for the show. And of course, this is a show. It's not financial advice or stock advice. We're not financial planners and we're not stock advisors. This is just a show.
Da, 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 da.
Hey!
You heard it again. All right, so let's get right into it. If you're not subscribed on our channel for YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and listen to my man.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Sharing is caring. And of course, if you're not following us on Twitter, aka x.com, go ahead and follow us at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money. And if you want to follow us on Twitch,
It's at Coach Nick Money, again at Coach Nick Money.
absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this. And by the way, I don't want to forget, we do still have our 99-cent special for 7 days. To get into our Discord for 99 cents, and then it's $39.99. We call a lot of bangers a lot of times. DBL Mom, there you go. There you go. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on today. Today, we have had one runner over 100%. It was a continuation play that we called late in the afternoon yesterday. That was CYCC, and of course it did a dilution move afterwards, but it ran in after hours yesterday. We called it before it ran in after hours in our private Discord, and we had it as an early watch list, and it did run again 101%, and then you could see right where the dilution came in, where they exercised their offering, and it basically went down a lot. So now we're going to move on to other stocks that are moving. GMM is a stock that was moving, and we called it in our Discord while it was forming this cup and handle to test a high test right over here. And in fact, it broke the high test and made a high of $1.62, and now it's pulling back. So it was up 68%. So it's on a side chart. Side chart. I can't say NYC because we're not NYC. Side chart. Side chart FL.
Side chart
FLA. FLA, baby. FLA, baby. Okay, Mullen ran last night. Mullen, MULN, MULN, and now it is in consolidation mode. Mullen actually is up right now 20%. We could get the graffiti pencil out, ladies and gentlemen. The graffiti pencil, here it comes, boom. And we could possibly do a little graffiti right there and a little graffiti right there. And right now the price action is consolidating in the zone. So we're going to switch to graffiti pen and go ahead and do one of these little joints right here. Boom. And that is where it is consolidating. It's holding above VWAP. Side chart. Side chart. We had some activity from BOF, yes sir, and it went up quite a bit and now flushed back down. So we have a high of 337 on no news. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? We'll just give you a little bit of a level right here, but what have you done for me lately? Later for that. BRTX with news. It is up now 27%. It was up more earlier in the morning. It announced a transformative commercial agreement with Cartessa, a global leader in medical aesthetics technology. And that was at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Float is 5 million. And the volume, though, is only 9.73 million. But of course, it is pre-market. It looks like it's getting bearish. So let's create some levels here. Some levels, so that we can keep an eyeball on it, because it does have some news and it did have some volume, but it looks like it's forming a bearish pattern, and it's probably not going to hold at 153, which is a support area. At least it doesn't look like it, because it looks like it has a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. So that would be a flusheroon and possibly moving down to the 200 EMA. That's what it looks like, at least. So we'll come back to you. We'll keep you on a side chart. We had originally drawn out and posted on Twitter that a pennant was forming and it was a make or break type of situation, and it in fact broke upward, came back down, and ultimately went north and now is selling off. So we will come back to it later. Okay, EGOX, I believe, is a delisting stock, and it spiked early in the morning, and we called it before the spike, and then we were seeing it come down, and it looked like it possibly would be a descending wedge, but so far it's selling off. And it is a stock that is trading for around 3 pennies, so it's super duper risque. So later for you for now. We also had another stock that spiked, AKLI. AKLI went up almost 100%. But what I'm seeing right now on the 1 minute is, let's get that graffiti pencil. We need the graffiti pencil. Here we go. Graffiti pencil right over here, right over there, right over here, and right over there. It looks like a double top on the 1 minute. And if we go into the 5 minute, we'll take a peek. We'll take a peek at it right now. And it's, it's trying to break VWAP on the 5. So on the 1, it looks like a double top. We need to see it pop over VWAP. Otherwise, it looks like a double top, which is a bear pattern. And it has significantly gone down to 70% when it was up almost, 98% DBL mom, something like that? Yes. Okay, let's go take a look at MRIN, which also had a run early in the morning. And right now, it seems to be selling off. And we called it going bear with our Discord over here because it had a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and it in fact did sell off. So right now it is way below VWAP. And what have you done for me lately, Marin? Like really, let's really have a serious conversation here, Marin. You and I, okay? What have you done for me lately? Because you just basically sold off. Now, AGBA, which is going to be taking over Triller now. Da, 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 da. What the hell is Triller? It's supposed to be a competitor of TikTok. And it is currently up 12%. This stock went parabolic several weeks ago and had several runs since that. And I'm not seeing any particular news on it. Let's see, is there news? Let's see. Building a digital economy. It's kind of a repeat of the news before. Triller combined in $4 billion merger. I mean, it looks like they repeated the news again, so that's not really schmexy. 15 million float. It had its little spike-a-roon. Let's give it a little level over here, a little level. Change the graffiti pencil. Give it a level of $2.78, and we will come back to you. I'll put you on a side chart simply because of your reputation as to what you did a couple of weeks ago. So I'll give you some due concern and put you on a side chart. Side chart, FLA. Side chart, FLA. DBL moms, side chart, FLA. All right, AUUD also had some activity earlier in the morning, but now massive sell-off. It popped and it dropped. Not schmexy. It did have news. It's up 21%. It had news. It announced strategic product expansion with cloud-based artificial intelligence and natural language processing offering. And it has a 1.93 float, and the volume is 3 times that. So we'll put you on a side chart, but you're below VWAP, so you're not tantalizing me. You're not. I'm just saying. I mean, you got to show me some more love. Show me more love. And talking about showing me some more love, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show, would you kindly share? Because sharing is caring. Thank you so much. We appreciate it muchly. Muchly, is that a word? Muchly? Bigly, muchly, bigly. A lot. A whole lot.
They're not words at all. But
a whole lot. I make up my own words. Yeah, I got that problem. True. Fact. Let's take a look at what's going on with Mullen. It seems to be moving a little bit. I never trust Mullen, though, because Mullen has a very bad reputation of dilution. But it's out of the channel that we were talking about, right? We had this little channel that we drew over here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom in. and it has broke through it. But if you look, the candles look very choppy. A lot of top wicks, and we don't like at the top of wicks.
We like at the bottom.
We like at the bottom tail.
tail.
The tail and the bottom. You know what I mean?
The bottom.
And yes, so we like at the bottom tail, and you could see that there is a lot of top tails over here. It is currently up 25%. It had news yesterday. Having to do with something to do with some kind of an award or something along those lines in California for its EV system, something along those lines. And today there's news that the stock is a potential short squeeze. It ran parabolic in after hours. And the float is still quite low at 6 million shares, but the volume is only 4 million. So, side chart. Now, here's a ticker that was very interesting. It was moving, GMM. GMM had news, and again, we spoke about it with the cup and handle, and it is making a leg up. It is now over $1. It's $1.64. It was originally under $1, and again, it has news, global MAFI metaverse, and hot dub leverage NVIDIA Omniverse to develop generative video AI platform Gausspeed, and there's NVIDIA in the title. The float's a little bit on the thick side, not horrible, 10 million. The volume's only 9 million, but it is currently moving, and we have a 77% mover here, and we're going to keep an eyeball on it because it is currently moving. Ladies and gentlemen, the trend is its friend. Right now, the trend is its friend. Shazam, Shazizzle, baby. Going to the 5 minute. And you can see it is quite extended on the 5 minute. We have resistance at 167. Ladies and gentlemen. And when we go to the 1 minute chart, you can see that it is still trying to break through that resistance area. It's pulling back somewhat, but it has not pulled back significantly, so we will keep an eye on it right now. It is currently up 77% once again. Global MAFI Metaverse and Heart Dub Leverage. NVIDIA is an expensive stock, man. That company's like worth, what, $1 trillion? There goes the break. And there goes the break. Ladies and gentlemen, 81%, and we are still watching. Is it a bull trap, or is it going to keep on a Cohen? It only has 220,000 shares. Come on, don't be a bull trap. Come on. Looks like it's a bull trap. But it hasn't faded away yet, so maybe it's just a micro pullback, a baby pullback, a little one. We will continue to keep an eye on it, although it is a top tail. We don't like that, but it is. It's flirting. It's flirting with resistance. It's flirting. I see you. 167. Come on, get away from that top. No top tail. Bottom tail. I better have some espresso. That could help it out. Espresso always makes it go better. Let's go. Ice espresso made by the queen of stock herself, DBL Moms. There you go. There she is. Come on now. We're still watching. We're paying attention. Not a lot of volume. But it is flirting with the 167 resistance. We want to see it pierce through. If it does, it is highly extended. There is some room on the RSI for it to go up further, but it's certainly in the overbought area. And we do have two top tails on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minute to see if there's any confluence. It's still a top tail. It's still a top tail on the 5. Let's go back to the 1. We're watching. It's not giving up quite yet, but it is pulling back. So let's see what happens. We will keep an eye on it. Let's put some more levels on this bad boy. Let's put some levels over here. Right there. That's a level right there. That's a pretty high level. And will it turn? Let's go over here and do this. Let's go over here and do this. And let's go ahead and go into a longer time frame so we can create some more levels. And that's too much. That is certainly too much. And that's too little. Okay, so you're going to make my life difficult. Got you, man. I got you, man. How about over here? Hold on. New graffiti pencil needed for our level drawing. Level drawing in process. We have the technology. Dun, dun, dun. How about over there? How about over here? How about over here? And how about over there? There we go. Okay, and we could also go a little higher. Let's be positive about this. Come on, let's go here, here, and here. Okay, now let's go back to the 1 minute. Take a look at it.
Yeesh.
And it is pulling back. It is pulling back, and that has kind of been the story of the stock. I mean, right over here, it pulled back quite a bit, and then it formed its little cup and handle, and it broke up, and then it went back down, and boom, right? So maybe A, B, C, D would be nice. An A, B, C, D bull pattern, maybe? Can we have that? Can we have that? Can we have an A, a B, ha, 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 C, ha, 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 ha. Come on, make my C. And a D.
And a
Ha, ha.
D.
It didn't make my D. Ha, 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 ha. Can we have that? Wow, that's a weird ABCD.
Very
Looks
weird
like it's not holding. Looks like it's not holding 20, so it is certainly pulling back. We got a very big red volume candle, and we are dropping in volume. So maybe it's going to be a flusheroon. Could it be? But I do believe that this stock does still have the potential to keep going because it does have some news here, especially with the language there of NVIDIA. I don't know how much of that is fluff and how much of that is really a legitimate ad. Let's go and take a look at what the article says. Let's see. The article says, it's a Beijing company. Beijing, ha ha ha. Chinese, ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. It's a technology solution provider engaged in virtual content production and the development of digital assets for use in the broader digital entertainment industry. Today announced that its wholly owned subsidiary, Gauze AI, has teamed up with HeartDub, a U.S.-based leader in physical simulation technology, leveraging the power of NVIDIA Omniverse and NVIDIA RTX GPU. They are jointly developing Gauze-Speed. Okay, so it really doesn't have anything to do per se with NVIDIA. It's just a clickbait type of thing, I would say. Clickbait. Okay, so not as schmexy as the title would imply. Certainly not as schmexy. But, all right, we will keep you on a side chart. It is the leading stock right now. Let's take a look at VCNX. Just popped up on the scanner. VCNX. Marin somebody wants us to update Marin. VCNX does not have the volume. Let's go and take a look at Marin. And Marin is, it looks to me very much like there's not a heck of a lot of volume in it. It looks very barcodish. You could see it very much when you zoom out like this. And it's trying to crawl back to the 200 EMA. There does not seem to be a lot of volume on it and not a heck of a lot of attention to it. But it did have news earlier where the software and company, Marin Software, announced the launch of Anomaly Detector. And it's currently up 26%. The float is 2.83 million. The volume is only 3.62 million, and it's certainly a side chart item. Let's go and take a look at it in different time frames. Right over here. And maybe on the 5 minute, we could be seeing the beginning of a descending wedge. Maybe. So here's my graffiti pencil. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, baby. Boom, boom, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a descending wedge on the 5. Maybe a descending wedge on the 5. Let's see what it looks like on the 1. Let's take a look at the 1. It's certainly in the underbought or oversold, going towards the oversold range section. In the middle right now. It could be conceivably a double bottom as well, right over here. Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of volume, and it is significantly below VWAP, VWAP is right over here at 347, right over here. 346. That's VWAP right there. Maybe we see a reversal, but it needs volume. Pump up the volume, pump it up now. Pump it. BOF, ladies and gentlemen. BOF. If you want some other tickers to be looked at, go ahead and pop them in the chatteroon, the old chatteroon. And ladies and gentlemen, if you could, I would greatly appreciate you sharing, because that helps the stream grow and that helps us put more content out. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it kindly.
Finally.
So click that share button. That
Yeah.
share button. I'm gonna have some espresso. This is so much work. So much work, double. Man, that espresso, DBL Moms, is amazing. Okay, so we're looking at BOF, and it's obviously a double top over here. Let's get that graffiti pencil out there and do a little drawing. Double top over here. And that's one top, and there's the other top. It is a bearish formation, not very schmexy on the 1. Let's take a look at the 5, and it's the same thing on the 5. Now it's trying to make its way up, but it looks quite bearish with these 2 upper wick candles on the 5-minute, and their upper wick candles on the 1-minute. The tail is the top tail. We don't like top tails. No.
Bottom tails.
We want bottom tails. It's got very low volume. It's currently up 22%. The float's low, but the volume's low. So the float's 2 million, almost 3 million, and the volume's 300,000. 300,000 is a low volume. It needs volume, and it doesn't have any news that we see as of yet. And it is also a continuation play, and it looks like it is getting into that downward trend and a potential flush because we got a top and a top. So you got a double top. So this would be indicative of a flusharoon. What have you done for me lately, BOF? I know you ran last week. I know that. But what have you done for me lately? AGBA. Let's take a look at AGBA. It is moving. AGBA put out the same news about Trilla. Trilla. It's up 20%. And it's grinding up slowly, again, putting out the same news over and over again about its deal with Trilla. Trilla is a TikTok competitor. It is moving, and it's coming towards resistance, which is at 287. We have a high of 285. It's currently up 21%. Side chart. You know what? I'll keep an eye on it because if it could break that resistance, but I don't think it's got enough in it. It is clearly in the overbought range of the RSI. There's a lot of green candles, but they don't look like they got meat on the bones. Not a lot of volume. The float is thick at 15 million shares, but you only got 2 million worth of volume.
Yeah.
And with only 2 million worth of volume, it don't look so great.
No.
Chrysanthemo, let's go. I have a good feeling about this week. Good luck, Coach Nick and family. You too, brother. Much love. Appreciate you tuning in on the show regularly. Appreciate it. Much appreciation.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, much appreciation for everyone that's tuning in. And Chrysanthemo, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, so we're still watching what AGBA is doing, and again, it looks like it is respecting the resistance area right up here of 287. It had the high of 286, and it is respecting 287. Let's go and take a look at WGS, which was moving earlier in the morning, and I don't think it really fared very well, but let's take a look at it. Ooh, ow, it hurts me to watch this. No. Okay, we got some more information. BRTX. Someone wants us to check BRTX. And of course, it ran earlier in the morning, and you could see it is selling off. BRTX is up 22% on the following news. They announced a commercial agreement with Cartessa, which is a medical aesthetics technology company. This came out at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's only a 5 million float stock, so the float's quite low. The volume is 10 million. It's pre-market. Okay, it looks quite bearish on the 1, but it does have news, but it has a history of flushing, right? And it did break out. You can see over here when we first called it in the Discord, we called it over here where it had a breakout, a pullback, and then it broke again, but it was quite a choppy ride, a lot of upper wicks, so it's definitely not very powerful at this juncture on the 1, but let's take a look at what it looks like on the 5. And on the 5, you could see it looks pretty gnarly. It looks like it's going to flush down because you got, if I put my graffiti pencil over here, you got a shoulder, a head,
And
a shoulder over here. Okay, now if we go on the 1 minute, I mean, I guess we could say arguably that it's trying to create a descending wedge here, but I think it's still bearish. I think
I think it's still bearish.
yeah, I think it still has some dropping to do, and whether or not it recovers, nobody knows. But EGOX, super risky stock. I think it's a delist type of situation. It has been toying with me all morning. It is now at 4 pennies. We saw it at 3 pennies. It's up 41%. The float is 40 million and the volume is 49 million. Now it's only a 4 penny stock, so the float being on the higher side, not as concerning to me, but it is up 40%. I do believe it is a delisting play. I think that's what it is. But it is certainly a very risky stock, and it is curling above VWAP, and it is 4 minutes to the 9:30 bell. The 9:30 bell. So what we're going to be looking at, I'm not loving anything in particular at this juncture. AGBA is kind of moving up. GDHG is another request. GDHG. Not a lot of volume, ladies and gentlemen, on the 1. Let's go to the 5 minute. And you could see clearly on the 5 minute, and I'll give you some levels here, but on the 5 minute, you can clearly see that it is barcoding. So that means that the market makers are providing liquidity on it because there is not that much liquidity on it. So no one's paying attention to it at this juncture for the most part. But here are some levels to pay attention to. Again, 305. Again, not something that I would trade at this juncture. Let's go a little bit further out and see if it gives us any indication. Major sell-off. You could see it at the 180-day mark. Let's go to the 20-day mark. And there is, I guess, there is a cup and extended handle, but it just didn't break. So again, there's just not attention on it. It needs news and volume, I would say. News and volume, not ready, I would say, not ready. Okay, BDRX, we're going to take a look at that one real quick again, BDRX, and see if it's moving. And BDRX is, actually we didn't see BDRX. Same thing with BDRX, we've got a bunch of barcoding going on here, not a lot of volume, and here are some levels, but not a ton of volume on this particular stock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to BRTX, which I thought we were talking about, BRTX, which does have news. We said that it has formed a head and two shoulders, which is a bear reversal pattern. You could make an argument that there's a descending wedge here, but I would say that that's probably too early. It looks like it's going to probably go down before there is an actual wedge type of situation. AGBA, let's go to AGBA. That was a runner last week. It's kind of using the same type of news again today, and 297 is where we're at as a resistance level. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds before the bell. Let's take a look at what's going on, and you can take a look and see that 325 was the high over the past 5 days. Let's go a little bit longer to 10 days, and again it's 325, and you could get a clearer vision of what's going on when you go to the 30-minute chart. Let's get the other graffiti pencil out, and then of course this area right here seems to be an area of clear resistance. This whole entire area tends to channel. So I would like to see it over 310 and obviously 325 and have more volume. But again, they're recirculating apparently the same information from weeks ago, and it had its parabolic run. So side chart. Yeah, but it seems to be the most active stock right now. No, GMM. Let's take a look at GMM. And GMM is selling off. It never went with the ABCD pattern. We've got 15 seconds, and we're trying to find a ticker that's particularly attractive. TNMA. TNXP was asked in the chat. TNXP. Again, barcoding, not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume. We could give it a couple of levels. We'll give it a couple of levels here, 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 and here, and right there, and right there. And those are some levels, but not a heck of a lot of volume. We're looking and we're scanning and we're trying to keep an eye. GMM seems to be moving somewhat. Let's see if it is a bull trap or if it's actually moving. Okay, GMM is in fact pulling upward, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's see what it looks like on the 5 minute chart. We're watching GMM. It is currently up 70%. We have resistance at 162, resistance at 167, and we have resistance at 174. Volume is coming in 1.5 million. Again, it has the global Mafi Metaverse and Hot Dub leverage. They have the NVIDIA language in the title, but again, it really doesn't have anything to do with a deal with NVIDIA. It's just that they're going to be using NVIDIA with their deal. And I believe it's a China stock as well. Float is kind of on the heavy side, 10 million, so always susceptible to flusheroons when you have a higher float, Always susceptible to flushes, always. All right, we're watching. See, but it's moving. There goes the 82%. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on it. It is certainly the leading runner right now. BRTX is also popping off. Let's see what BRTX is doing, and then we'll come back. BRTX doesn't look schmexy enough. Back to GMM. GMM, it is testing resistance right over here at 174. We want to see it break 174. Let's zoom in a little bit. 174, we want to see it break over 174. Let's clean this chart up a tad. Let's get rid of this because it didn't happen. Let's get rid of that because that didn't happen. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so we have resistance right here. I'm going to put a little bit of an alert over here. A little bit of an alert because it is struggling with that resistance level. And we will keep an eye on it, and hopefully it will break through. It is currently up 84%. WGS, let's see what that's doing. And it too is testing the high. It is up 40%. WGS, it had earnings news on the 29th. GenX Holding Corp, Q1 2024 earnings call. And the float is super heavy and not a lot of volume, so not particularly schmexy. Back to the videotape for GMM. Here we go. GMM. Let's see what's going on with that. And again, it seems to be respecting the resistance. The resistance level. It's respecting it. GMM breaks it. GMM breaks through. GMM is breaking through and now pulls back. Again, a lot of resistance at the 175 mark. Someone wants us to take a look at CYCC, which ran quite a bit earlier and then had a massive sell-off on news of a public offering, and it continues to move downward. So no longer schmexy. It had a parabolic move last night and a parabolic move early in the morning. 101%. We did a video on it yesterday before its parabolic run this morning, and then they dropped news of a public offering right around here, and you could see that quite disgusting in pre-market. But certainly no surprise with these small caps. No surprise whatsoever. And it has subsequently sold off. So right now, I would say, what have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately, ladies and gentlemen? What have you done for me lately? And you could say the same thing for BRTX. BRTX is also selling off. So once again, it was indeed what we suspected, which was a shoulder, a head, a shoulder. So head and shoulders and a sell-off. It was not a descending wedge. We were correct about that, and it is selling off quite a bit, and it can certainly go all the way down to this area right here. right over here. It could make its way all the way down to here. Hopefully that will not be the case. We're hoping that that will not be the case. GMM is currently up 90%. GMM is currently up 90% and has broke the resistance area of 175. So we got a high of 181, and it is still moving, but it is moving quite slow. Here's some more levels for us. So we've got 180 as a resistance area, and we have 192 as a resistance area on GMM. I am seeing some other stockaroons here, some other stockaroons moving. AKLI had a run earlier. AKLI, come on, boom, boom, and it is testing VWAP. Testing VWAP. So we had a double top on this critter. It is a 39-cent stock, testing VWAP, and not a whole lot of volume on it. It announced an amended agreement with Shinogi Shift in corporate strategy and release date for first quarter 2024 financial results. That was at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a heavy floated stock, but it is an inexpensive stock. 27 million shares, and the volume is 14.51, and it has just broken VWAP, and it is up 74% with a nice juicy candle and a bottom tail. Give me more of that bottom.
More bottom.
We need more bottom. It needs volume.
More bottom.
Needs volume, and it could certainly turn back. But when we look at the volume and the RSI, we still have green candles, and we certainly are still within a decent range in the RSI. We are not in the overbought area, but you do have two top tails here on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minute, and you can see in the 5 minute it is also a top tail. So we want to have a break from here, right over here, 0.4193, 0.4193. Can it break it? It's trying. It's pushing. It's pushing.
Pushing.
It's pumping. It's pumping.
Whoa.
Come on, will it squirt through? Come on, squirt. Give it a little squirt there. It's trying, ladies and gentlemen. It is certainly trying. 76%, but it doesn't seem to have enough gasolina. It doesn't seem to have enough gasolina because the volume is too low. The volume's too low. Will it hold VWAP? Don't look too good to me. I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong, but it don't look too good to me. But it is up 70%, and we called it earlier in the morning. Before it did that, certainly before it did that, let's go and take a look at AGBA. It is popping off a little bit. AGBA, and it is currently up 39%. It has broken through a significant resistance area. Will it hold? Will it hold? Let's take a look and see what we got here. Let's move to a greater time frame. And it's a lot more clear when you look at it from over here. This was clearly a super resistance area. Let's go to the 180-day chart, see if we can garner any information. Okay, so it's moved quite a bit for 180 days, and let's go to 1 year, take a look at the 1 year. And again, the high over the 1 year was in fact right around here, 323, so it's above the high of the year.
Yes.
And do we potentially have blue skies? Do we have blue skies? But it doesn't have enough volume. I need to see more volume. I need to see more interest in it, and it is certainly in the overbought area, but this is certainly something that I'm going to want to keep an eye on, because right over here, let's do a little bit of a drawing right here. A little bit of drawing right here. This area right here seems to be where the high was for the past year. So if it can significantly break away, let's go and zoom into the 1 day chart. If it can break this area and significantly pull away, maybe we see a major parabolic area. The thing that concerns me, though, is DBL Nicks. They keep issuing the same news over and over again about Triller, and that's what scares me. That's what scares me about this. But I'm going to put it on a side chart, because if it can, in fact, break away from this area, let's say the high of the day right here, if it can break away, let's create an alert. If it can break away and pull away significantly, there might be some activity with it. Activity. Let's see. We got somebody who wants us to take a look at GBR. Let's go take a look at GBR. GBR. Not a lot of volume, ladies and gentlemen. Let's change the view to a tie. Up. We'll come back to this because AGBA is moving. We'll come back to it, promise.
AGBA.
Remind me to go back to that. Okay, so it broke through and then it dropped. So you know what? I'm going to go a little higher. Let's create an alert over here and then go back to the other ticket that we were looking at. So we have a alert right over there, an alert right there, and what was that ticker? G what?
GBR.
GBR. This has run in the past. Let's go and change the time frame on it. Let's go to a longer time frame, and you can see right over here it had a pretty massive run to 176 back on April 19th. We'll create some levels over here off of this. So let me change my graffiti pencil so we can do that. How about right there and there and there, right there, that one, and maybe that one. So that's all the stuff on the top. Let's go down here. We got there, there, and there, and there, and then let's go in the middle, right there, maybe right there, maybe right there, that one, this one, this one over here, and then let's go ahead and zoom, zoom, zoom. So this is pretty much how I set up my levels, ladies and gentlemen. But the issue here is there is very little volume, not a lot of attention, and I don't believe there's any news for GBR. Is there news for GBR? CoStar Group and Real Estate Gainers, Blackstone Mortgage, Trusts and Losers. So that was the news on that. Not anything recent. The float is low. That's good, but the volume is 171. 171. So nobody is paying attention to it right now. It's not on the schmexy meter at this point. No. But the leading gapper right now is GMM. Not GM, GMMM. GMMM, but it looks quite bearish. But AGBA again tickled the high of the day. So let's go back to AGBA. And AGBA is a moving, ladies and gentlemen, AGBA is a moving. It's not moving with a lot of authority, but it is moving. We need to see it stay above this area right over here, $3.34. We want to see it rip past that level so that we can feel more confident about it. Its news, I believe, is pretty much the same as what it was last week. Let's take a look at it one more time. And again, building a digital economy, Titan, AGBA, and Trilla combining in $4 billion deal. I mean, it's a pretty hefty news. The float is on the heavy side at 15 million, but that didn't hold it back several weeks ago when it went parabolic. And of course, we called it on, I think it was April 18th, just before that parabolic run. It is flirting with the high of day. We're going to keep an eye on it. The volume is still super low at 15 million, but it is still moving. And again, we're concerned about the fact that it is repeating a similar type of a news article that it had from last week. So that's why I don't really feel totally comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But that being said, if it can move from this price point right here and start taking off, you could see that it will be significantly above where it has been over the past 365 days. In other words, the past year. So if we could see volume come in and push this price action up, we can potentially see a massive move on this. But that's a big if. So going back to the 1 minute, let's take a look at what the 1 minute looks like. And again, it is still fighting to break through this level. A lot of topping tails, which would imply losing steam. Let's see where it's at with the 5 minute. And again, a top tail. We don't like top tails. We like the bottom tails. We like the bottom tails. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all about the bottom. All about the bottom tails. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. GRRR making a little bit of a movement. GRRR making a bit of a movement. It does not look too schmexy. There is no news. It's only up 5%, and it only has 93,000 shares being traded. It is a low floater of 4 million, but again, this is a stock that popped about a month or 2 months ago, and then it did a public offering and flushed super duper hard. So, you know what? It's a what have you done for me lately situation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not interested, not schmexy enough.
Not
No,
schmexy.
AKLI. AKLI.
There's no schmexy.
Not schmexy on the 5 minute. Not schmexy.
schmexy.
No. On the 1 minute. Meh.
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 It still has that double top over here, and it has sold off somewhat, but it's really not moving that much without that much volume and doesn't have news. It announced an amended agreement with Shinogi, shift in corporate strategy, and release data for first quarter 2024 financial results. It is a 38-cent stock, and it is currently up 61%. Respect. But what have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
I'm going to keep going because I'm not that turned on right now. GMM. Let's go to GMM, and it looks quite bearish, ladies and gentlemen. It looks quite bearish. That's not making me happy. No. Not making me happy. Let's try EGOX. Let's see what EGOX is doing. And EGOX looks like it does not have a lot of volume. It's trying to flirt with VWAP, but it is not really tantalizing me. Not yet. No, sir. No, siree. Do we have another ticker that we need to look at? GDHD. That was the one that was barcoding. What is it?
GDHG. Golf Delta Hotel.
There we go. G.
Golf Delta
Golf Delta.
Hotel.
HG. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And again,
Barcode.
we are looking at a very thinly traded stock, not that much volume, certainly barcoding. We have levels over here, and it is, let's see what the float looks like. The float is 11 million, but you only have 99,000 shares being traded, so not particularly schmexy. I mean, we need volume. Let's change the view and see if it looks a little bit different. I mean, you could say on the 5 minute that it has a general upward trend on the 5 minute. So we could say this is going on right here, right? That it's trending upward, but certainly it's only up 4% and it's on very light volume. And let's see what it looks like on a longer time frame. Let's go to 20 days. Okay, let's zoom in. And on 20 days, it seems to be consolidating in a channel. So we can take a other graffiti pencil out and go ahead and go right over here.
Yeah.
And over here.
Yeah.
And it is in this channel right here. It's in this channel in the 20-day mark. So it is a slow mover, if you will. And certainly it would look a lot more sexy if it came over the 29-cent mark with authority and started moving towards 30 cents. But because there's not that much volume, not that schmexy. Back to the 1 minute. And you can see why it's not that schmexy. Look at how thinly traded it is. Look at how the candles look so thin on it. So that's what's concerning me. AGBA is moving. AGBA moving. AGBA is now up 54%. And we're watching it. We're watching it at 54%.
54%.
It is quite extended on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute, and it is quite extended on the 5 minute. It has hit a high of $3.73. $3.73. That is a significant move. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep an eye on AGBA. AGBA might have a room for a much stronger run. So let's keep an eye on it at the 1 minute as it hits 62%. 62%, ladies and gentlemen. And it's turning the corner. It's turning the corner, and it's striding. It's striding. It's moving. It's moving. It's striding. It's pushing. It's pushing. It's squirting. It's squirting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show, sharing is caring. Please share the stream. We appreciate it kindly. 388 is the high. 388 is the high. We're going to keep an eye on it. It is extremely extended on the 1 minute. We can see that it is in the overbought area of the RSI, but we still have very large green candles on the volume. The volume. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute candle. And again, we see that it is attempting to break the high of day at $3.88. It is heavily traded on both the buy and the ask, the bid and the ask, but we are going to keep a look an eye on it. It looks like it needs a pullback because it's super duper extended on the 5 minute. You can see the 5 minute chart is super extended, and it is super extended on the 1 minute, but it looks like it may not be done. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. Yeah. We're going to keep an eye on it, and it is still pushing. It doesn't have a heck of a lot of volume, but it's moving, and we have a new higher today, 65%. 67%. And we're still watching. Remember, the key level that we were concerned about was right over here at $3.33. And we said that if it pulled away, we could see a nice move. It's up 69%. I said 69. I said 69. I'm so immature. Ow! Double mom, stop. Ow, 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 mom. Please, I'm just joking. I was looking at the number. Come on, man. Party pooper. 71%. 70. Can I say 71%, Mom? 71%, 71%, 72%, 73, 74%. Ladies and gentlemen, it worked out the way we wanted it to work out. We said that if it broke this level, we would see a move that would be quite aggressive. It is extended, but it is not stopping yet. Ladies and gentlemen, 79%, not 69%, Mom, 79%, 80%, 81%. Ladies and gentlemen, what a move. Much respect. Yes. It is continuously giving. This is ticker AGBA, continually giving gifts. This stock has been moving since we first called it, and now it is pulling back, obviously. But what a run, ladies and gentlemen. This stock was originally called by us on April 18th, before its parabolic run back then, before the news. Well, actually, the news dropped on Triller. And it ran parabolic, and we called it right after the news drop, before the parabolic move. Ladies and gentlemen, join our Discord if you want to see our picks early. There's a 99-cent special there. 99-cent special, ladies and gentlemen, for the first 7 days, and then it's $39.99. We get a lot of bangers a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. That's indeed what's going on. So we're going to keep an eye on AGBA. AGBA is pulling back. We want it to stay above this level right here, right over here. We want to see it stay above 388 and move back up. But you do have two double tails, top tails over there, which is not schmexy. We don't like that. And on the 5 minute, you also still have a top tail that looks almost like a doji. We'd like to see it move upward, but again, it is super extended and overdue for a pullback. Overdue for a pullback. And then if we take a look at the RSI, you could clearly see right over here, it is certainly in the overbought area. But you still have a lot of green candles, so maybe, just maybe it could continue to be schmexy, but I think it needs to pull back, Doubles. Yeah. That's what I think. I think it needs to pull back. I certainly think that, and the spread on the level 2 is monstrously big. So, monstrously big. Yeah. All right, Stockpot wants us to see I see you. All right, we'll come back to AGBA. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of an alert right here, just in case it makes a ringy-dingy for us. And we're going to take a look at ICU. ICU is a sub-dollar stock, so obviously it's going to be quite volatile. A little bit of volatility over there. It seems to be hanging out in this channel over here. Let's go into a higher time frame to take a look. Okay, it had a nice big move upward. Let's take a look at some facts about it. It's currently up 11%. C-Star Medical announces a 3.6 million NIH grant awarded to study the selective cytopheretic device in adult patients with severe chronic heart failure. This was at 8:30 today. That's the news. Let's take a look at the volume on it. The volume is very low at 1 million shares, and the float is 35 million shares, so it needs a volume. Let's go to a different time frame and see if we can perhaps see a channel. That's too much. That's too much right there. Let's go to 1 minute. Okay, so we have a bunch of levels from activity that has gone on before. So again, we would want to see it break the 60 cent mark, 61, 63, 65, and so on and so on. So on the 1 hour chart, it looks like it formed a double bottom. but it doesn't have the volume to make it really cook. We need volume. Let's look at what it looks like on the 5, and it looks like this channel right here is a significant channel of resistance. So let's create this right here so we can keep an eye on it, and we'll come back to it because it does have news, and it is currently up 11%, but it doesn't have a heck of a lot of volume. It needs volume. Let's go and take a look at CYCC, which had a public offering after its 101% run this morning, and it is curling up towards VWAP, and you can see that it looks quite ugly once it did the public offering, but it is curling up towards VWAP, and it has a long way to go, and right now it is just not schmexy anymore. It had a parabolic run that we called before it happened in our Discord last night in after hours, and of course we called it for pre-market, and it was up 101% before this public offering. So right now it is a situation of what have you done for me lately? Hello, bless you DBL moms, bless you. BRTX had news and then sold off, and it sold off even more aggressively. And this is at the 5 minute. Let's take a look at what it looks like at the 1 minute. It's trying to curl. Not totally convinced that it's curling. We'll come back to you later. AGBA seems to be the best show in town at this juncture. AGBA. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. AGBA. And it is within a channel right now. Within this channel right over here. Right over here. Yeah, this channel right here. So we'll get a graffiti pencil out and do one of these joints right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do one of these joints right here. We want to see it stay above 387, although it looks like it's going to be dipping below, and that is not something we want to see. And in fact, it is dipping below that level. Ladies and gentlemen, it's dipping below that level, so we are going to come back to you later. Kraken, CRKN. If I remember correctly, this has to do with technological glass and things of that nature. That's what's up with that company, and it is selling off quite a bit on the 1 minute, and of course not a lot of volume because you could see right over here. Let's get the graffiti pencil out to create some levels, but you could see that it's very choppy. So it is barcoding, again, liquidity being created primarily by the market makers because of the barcoding. But here's some levels to take a look at. And again, it looks not schmexy at the 1 minute at all, not even a little bit, but we will give it some levels, and it is certainly a very inexpensive stock, so a lot of volatility, but not a heck of a lot of volume on this right now. Let's go and take a look at the 5 minute, and the 5 minute shows us the same sell-off that we saw before. Let's go to a longer time frame. Let's go to a 20-day, and not very impressive even over here. Let's go to the 180-day, and you can see the massive sell-off. Okay, so that's the story with this one. Back to the 1 minute, and again, not looking particularly attractive at this moment. So let's move on to the videotape. AKLI coming to life. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Would this be a potential cup and handle? Cup and handle bull pattern? Could that be a cup and handle bull pattern? Right there. Could that be the cup? Could this right over here? Let's change that pencil. The graffiti pencil is being changed, and this is the handle. Don't you like the way I draw my cup with my handle? This is the cup, and that's my handle. And we've got some levels here. It's a cup of espresso. It's a demi cup. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Just go with it, ladies and gentlemen. Just go with it, please. Here's some levels for us. Here goes some levels. Here we go. 45.93 was the high, and this is the area where we need it to start to move, right? So we got a cup and a handle, but it's still not doing what it needs to do. Right now it's at 82%, and it announced an amended agreement with Shinogi Shift in corporate strategy and release date for first quarter 2024 financial results. It has a heavy float of 27 million shares, but it's a relatively inexpensive stock at 42 cents, so we could forgive it for that. But here's the thing, it only has 29 million shares that are trading hands, so not a lot of volume. And I want to see a bottom tail. Come on, GMM. Let's take a look at GMM. GMM, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at GMM, and GMM is selling off. Sad. It's sad. It's sad. Okay, it's selling off later for GMM, later for GMM, AGBA. AGBA seems to be selling off as well. Well, it's trying. It's trying to come back. It's certainly trying to come back. Again, significant resistance area right over here. Let's change the graffiti pencil and extend it so we can continue to see. This is a significant resistance area. We need to see it pierce through 387 and 430. 429 was the high, 430, and keep on a moving, and it certainly does have room if it can do that, but right now it has lost a lot of momentum, and it is getting closer to 10 o'clock, and as we always say, around 10 o'clock the volume drops. People take a break. Okay, we're going to look at JAGX, a heavy stock, heavy floated stock, but it has moved in the past. JAGX, another inexpensive stock at 23 cents. 23 cents. We don't see any news for it today. Let's take a look at the volume. The volume is 231 million.
That's heavy.
That's a heavy float. That's a lot of dilution. The volume is only 30 million, but it is trying to make a move upward, and it is currently up 12%. Doesn't have a heck of a lot of volume. Let's zoom in on it and take a look a little bit closer. This is a level of resistance right over here, 2375.2375, and we can certainly start drawing some levels over here. So let's change the graffiti pencil and draw some levels, key levels. So this would be one right here, and certainly right there, and certainly right there. So the levels, key levels would be 2375, 2425, 2493, and of course 2569, and of course 26.1. But there is no news. It is a heavy floated stock, and there is not a lot of volume. So I guess you could say it is curling. I'm not ready to say that it's a cup and handle, but it is curling, and it has to break through these resistance levels. It's up 14%, and it's certainly worth having it as a side chart. Side chart? A side chart. Yeah, because it's moving, but I'm going to go and take a look at other stuff. I'm just going to go and take a look at other stuff. How about that? Okay, let's go take a look at WGS. WGS was up earlier, and now it went down, and now it's trying to make its way up. Again, also a very lightly floated stock, CYCC was doing great until the public offering that occurred pre-market that took it down, and right now it just looks like a hot mess. Okay, hot mess. See you later. CYCC, see you later. CYCC, see you later. Let's take a look at Mullen. Mullen had a parabolic run in after hours yesterday, and we saw that there was a channel that had been formed right over here between 709 and 628, and right now it is under that channel. Let's zoom in. You can see it. It's under that channel. It's trying to curl. It's trying to curl. This is also a stock that has a history of dilution. Dilution stock. Naughty. It's currently up 9%. It is certainly trying to curl up. Let's see what it looks like on the 5 minute. I guess you could say maybe it's trying to do a descending wedge over here. Maybe. Let's get the graffiti pencil out. I mean, you could conceivably say that maybe there's a descending wedge right here. Maybe. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. It has a lot of resistance to get through. 627, all of this. It would have to break through all of this. Certainly 647 would be another key area. 647 would be another key area right over here. Right there, like 646, 647. And again, all of this area right here is a very significant resistance area. So really, if it breaks through 709, that would be interesting. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this stock has run parabolic. And you could see, look at that run. And you could certainly say that this was a shoulder, a head and shoulder, and then it sold off. And you can also say that, hey, you know what? If we change the graffiti pencil, we could also say that this is still another shoulder. Actually, a double top here and here, maybe. Right? So, what have you done for me lately at this
What have you
juncture?
done for me lately?
You know, I mean,
What have you
unless you break
done?
this level, and I'll put a little alert right here. I mean, I'll put an alert. I mean, if you can prove to me that you can get over $7.10 with authority, with volume, then we could talk.
Then
But
we
if
could
you
talk.
only have 9,238 shares being traded,
Well, I
well,
don't
well,
wanna
then
talk.
what are we going to do? What are we
I
going to
don't
do?
wanna.
I got to find another lover, another stock lover. Another stock lover.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. All right. GDHG is another request. GDHG. And it is a moving. Okay. So, all right. So it's moving on light volume. It has a level right here at 31.88. Let's go ahead and change the graffiti pencil to mark that 31.88. It's currently up only 10%. It is lightly traded, but it did have a move up. It is a sub-dollar stock, and we can see that it broke through these levels that we drew. So let's go ahead and go to a longer time frame and see if we can ascertain some other levels, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can ascertain some other levels. So we got this level over here. How about that level right there? That level right there. That level right there. That one and that one. This one.
right there.
And this one. How about that one? And that one. And then we got 43 cents right over here. All right, and this is a 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, ladies and gentlemen. That's 10 days. Let's go a little bit longer. Let's go to 1 hour, 20 days, and we can see that there's a level over here. So we're going to draw it. Boom, and boom, and boom, and boom. So these are our levels that we have for it. Again, not a ton of volume, but it has made a significant move through various resistance levels, but not something I would trade at this juncture. Not financial advice, just sharing what I see. Sharing what I see. SWEL is on our scanner. SWVL is on our scanner. Let's see. Very low volume. Up 27%. Up 27%. Not seeing anything of any significance. It is a 4 million float. Only 44,000 shares being traded. So, not particularly schmexy, but you know what? I'll put an alert just in case, Let's remember it is after 10 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a once over to see if we could find another ticker that's banging and moving and banging, like that stuff over there, you know what I mean? CYCC is trying to break VWAP. CYCC. CYCC. It's trying to break through VWAP, but it's still got a ways to go. And then there's a bunch of resistance over here. If we zoom out, you can see all this resistance right over here, right over there. So not particularly schmexy. Not particularly schmexy. Let's go back to AGBA. AGBA was schmexy for a while. And it is not schmexy at this juncture, right? Because we have it below this resistance level, 377. We want to see it break through 377. Let's zoom in a little bit. We could potentially say that there is let's change the graffiti pencil right over here, right over here. We could potentially say that it's forming a triangle, a pennant right here. Maybe this, maybe this. Maybe right there, maybe. Right there, that one. How about this one? Maybe a pennant forming, maybe. But I don't think it's there yet, but it looks like it could be potentially creating a pennant. All right, but it still has resistance here, and this is only at the 1 minute, so I'm not fully satisfied with the way it looks. I'm not fully satisfied. I mean, it's got quite a bit of work ahead of it, but we did have it up as high as 80%. It is trying to curl, right? It was up 80%, DBL Moms?
It was up 81%.
81%, yeah. On news that seems to be recycled. It just broke through one resistance area. We don't have a heck of a lot of volume, but it is moving. The spreads on level 2 are massive, so that's always a problem. But it is coming up. And let's go ahead and get another graffiti pencil out here. Let's go here, let's go here. And again, this is a zone that seems to be quite respected. So we're going to go right here, and 387 is the first level of resistance, and the second level of resistance would be right around $4.30. So we would want to see it go straight through here if it's going to go through here. It's moving very slowly, so I don't think it's got enough juice in it, but hey, you never know. You never know. We'll keep an eye on it. We're going to keep an eyeball on it. It seems to be the most attractive right now, but on very light volume, so that's quite concerning. Let's see if it can break through this entire zone over here. RSI is not overbought, but you don't have huge volume candles, and that's my concern. And I want to see a bottom tail, not a doji, not a top tail, a bottom tail. Right now it's respecting resistance at around the 387-ish mark. At the 387-ish mark, we want to see it start to pull away from that mark if it's going to do it. And the candle's turning red. We've got 4 seconds before the next candle forms on the 1 minute, and it's still staying below 387. It doesn't seem to have a lot of juice. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the 5, and even on the 5 you can see, quite frankly, that it is struggling to try to break through there. And again, it is certainly after 10 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on it to see what it's doing, see if it's going to make a move or not. But you know, we're looking at the volume candles, and they're all turning red. We need these candles to start to turn green and move upward. We do have an RSI that's in the middle range, so it's not overbought or oversold. So there's still a potential, but again, it's after 10 o'clock, not a heck of a lot of volume, and you can tell by how slowly it is moving. Let's see what's going on. We're watching, and if it keeps on going slow like this, I'm just going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, but I will certainly be watching AGBA for the rest of the day, simply because of where it's at. SWVL seems to have moved. Let's go to SWVL and see what it's doing. Oh my, it does not look schmexy at all. Back to AGBA. Not schmexy at all. Let's move in, and again, it is still trying to break that 387 strong resistance. 387 is a strong resistance. It has not given up yet, although it's below that level, and certainly it doesn't have a lot of volume, so we're going to keep an eye on it for a few more and see if it can make it or break it. It looks like it's losing momentum. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, consider subscribing to YouTube.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. And also you can follow us on Twitter, akax.com, at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money, and also on Twitch, at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money. And if you want to join us in our Discord, we call it a lot of bangers a lot of times. The link is in the description, and it's also
in the pinned comment section.
In the pinned comment section. And we got a special there. It's a really good special,
Yes,
99 cents for the first 7 days of the Discord, and then $39.99, low price of $39.99. It is truly an amazing Discord, an amazing community, and a lot of parabolic calls called constantly, pre-market, regular hours, and after hours. We are off the hook, if I do say so myself. And it's Coach Nick Money.
GBL Nicks in the house.
And of course, the indelible one, the queen of stocks, the one, the only, DBL Moms.
Hey!
Oh, you could do better than that. DBL Moms.
Hey!
One more time. DBL Moms.
Hey!
Okay, good enough. And we are out of here. Make a lot of money. Wait a minute. It's trying to break through. Okay, we'll be keeping an eye on it. AGBA, we're going to keep an eye on it. And ladies and gentlemen,